वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नामचिन्तामणि कृष्णश्चैतन्य रसविग्रह पूर्णशुद्धो नित्यमुक्तो अभिन्नत्वां नाम नामिनो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. We will, before starting the presentation, we will recite the Gita Mahatmya shlokas. गीतशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णुपदम् अवाप्नोति भयशोकादिवर्जिता गीतध्यायनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव शान्तिः पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलिने मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीतामृतस्नानं संसारमलनाशनम् गीतसुगीतकर्तव्य किम् अन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरै यः स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्मद्विनिश्रिता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णुवक्त्रद्विनिश्रितं गीतगङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दना पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्मपि एकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Are you all able to see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Hare Krishna. So today we'll be starting with the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita that is entitled Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. So first, just for an introduction, let us see how Bhagavad Gita is divided into three units. So the first unit is from chapters 1 to 6. Sorry, unit 1 is from chapter 1 to 6 and it is entitled Karma Yoga. The second unit is Bhakti Yoga, that is from chapter 7 to 12. And the third unit is Jnana Yoga, that is from chapters 13 to 18. So, in this way, the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are divided into three units consisting of 6 chapters each. And the Bhakti Yoga is, this analogy is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And Bhakti Yoga is compared to the jewel within the box. So Bhagavad Gita is the crown jewel of all knowledge and is like a beautiful box containing the most valuable secret treasure. The middle section of Bhakti Yoga is the most excellent shining jewel inside the box, more valuable than anything in the three worlds, which brings Lord Sri Krishna under control. And the essential message of Bhagavad Gita is bhakti or devotional service. And the first six chapters present how to attain bhakti by one's work, or that is karma yoga. The last six chapters describe how to attain bhakti by knowledge or jnana yoga. And the middle six chapters, that is from 7 to 12, it directly represents bhakti. So, this structure of the Gita ultimately concludes that seeking shelter of Lord Krishna by bhakti yoga is the essence of human life. And there are mainly five topics that are discussed in the Bhagavad Gita: Ishvara, Jiva, Karma, Kala, and Prakriti. So, Ishvara is it. Bhagavad Gita tells us who is God, and it also gives us knowledge about who am I, or who is the soul, who is Jiva. And Karma, how to act, what are the correct ways to act, and what is the reaction to the actions that we perform. And Kala, that is time. And Prakriti, that material, what the material world is, and the material energies of the Lord. So these are the five topics that are discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. So now I would like to ask all of you a question. Maybe some of whoever wants to answer, you can raise your hands and then unmute and answer. So why have you joined the course, and what do you expect to learn from these 18-day series of Bhagavad Gita? Why have you joined? Please raise your hands and you can answer. Otherwise, I will ask randomly. Jia, why have you joined?
Hare Krishna. I joined to understand the deeper meaning of
Can you
Bhagavad
be
Gita.
more louder, Jia?
Mataji, can you
Yeah,
hear?
now it's fine. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So, I have joined this 18-day session to understand the deeper meaning of Bhagavad Gita through various devotees who are teaching, and the main aspects and the main points, and the examples, and what all we can depend on. Yes, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Very nice. Anyone else wants to answer? Why have you joined? What inspired you to study Bhagavad Gita? There are so many people with the videos. Or yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, TulsiGopi. Actually, Bhagavad Gita is such a vast, it's such a deep subject matter. The more you learn, but still less it is. So it is so essential that we listen from various speakers. And I'm totally inspired to learn from the youth of today, because how the youth view the Bhagavad Gita, and I would like to understand from their perspective as well. So I felt that this would be a wonderful way of learning from our young children. I mean, all of you, and most importantly, you've all done your Bhakti Shastri. So I felt inspired, and I felt that I should listen from you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so like all of you said, like Jia and Mataji said, Mataji said that Bhagavad Gita is a very vast subject, and how much ever you learn, you can still find new meanings to it. And Jia also said that she is eager to learn. So since we have all got the human form of life, it is important for us to ask questions. That is, who are we and what is our purpose? So, because we have got the human form of life, it is said, Athato Brahma Jignasa. Therefore, we have to inquire. So, we have to ask questions. So, such questions that who are we, what is our purpose in life, what is our identity with God, such questions will help us to progress on bhakti and understand our actual relationship with Krishna. So, even in Bhagavad Gita, it is a conversation, the questions and answers. It is a conversation of Krishna and Arjuna. And let us see some important things. We all know that Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata and it comes in the Bhishma Parva. Consists of 18 chapters, and 700 shlokas. So, Bhagavad Gita literally means Song of God. So, it is like life manual for us. So, whenever we buy something, there's a manual that comes with it. Otherwise, we don't know how it works. So, similarly, to pass our life properly and in the correct way, in the right way, Bhagavad Gita gives us instructions and it is like our life manual. So now I've taken few points from the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita, which I thought is important and I would like to share with all of you. So some important aspects that are mentioned in the introduction is that faithful transmission of Bhagavad Gita. That Bhagavad Gita must be received through the parampara to preserve its true meaning. We need to make sure that we are listening or hearing from authoritative sources, from bona fide parampara. And rejection of speculative interpretation. Many commentators or translators of Bhagavad Gita, they add their personal opinions to it while rejecting the true essence. So we should be aware of such commentators. And we need to focus on Bhakti Yoga. And we need to understand that Bhakti is the true path of understanding Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. And no amount of mental speculation, jnana, or impersonal meditation is going to help us in this path. Next point is Arjuna represents the conditioned soul. So Arjuna's confusion on the battlefield is a replica of what we also might struggle. It's like it mirrors our spiritual struggles and it helps us to understand and correlate with him and also uh, learn from what Krishna is teaching. So the practical application of Bhagavad Gita can help us to overcome these obstacles. The Gita teaches us how to live and act in spiritual consciousness even in worldly duties. And it has universal relevance. Even though it was spoken 500 years back, its teachings are timeless and meant for all people, not just scholars or ascetics. So it is timeless and we can relate to it even if we are children, adults, or any kind of uh, any age or any gender or anything. So now we'll start with the first chapter. So there's an acronym given for to understand the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So this acronym is doubt. Okay, so by doubt we can remember the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So D stands for Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan. O stands for ominous result. U stands for uncertainty. B stands for bewilderment and T stands for turning point. So first we'll focus on D. So since D stands for Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan, it covers verses 1 to 12. And from this section, we understand that innumerable soldiers had assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and sitting in his palace, Dhritarashtra inquires about the events on the battlefield, while Duryodhan, who is his son, is busy motivating his army. And Duryodhan is physically blind. Dhritarashtra is physically blind, but he and his son are also blinded by greed, envy, and material desire. So when the individual person starts to think in terms of I, me, and mine, then primarily we start becoming selfish and we want personal gains. So this can be seen from the behavior of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan. And we will see further in the section how Duryodhan was motivating his army and how Dhritarashtra was worried about what is happening in the battlefield. So the next one is O, which is ominous result. This is covered in verses 13 to 20. So Duryodhan says a few things about his army. He says a few boastful words, but it is very clear from different signs that the defeat of the Kauravas is imminent. So those who stand on the side of purity and righteousness are always victorious, regardless of whether the worldly odds seem stacked against them. So one who is representative of dharma and who is following the dharma, then he is never overcome by evil. The next point is U, that is uncertainty. That is from verses 21 to 27. So in this section, we see that Arjuna is still uncertain about fighting his opponents, who are all his relatives. So Arjuna wants to take a final look at the armies and he requests Krishna to drive to the middle of the battlefield so he can estimate the strength of the opposite party. And finally, we'll move on to the letter B, which stands for bewilderment. That is seen in verses 28 to 30. So, seeing the imminent suffering and death that is inevitable by the war, Arjuna begins to analyze his situation, and at this stage, he becomes uncertain and he becomes bewildered. So, we will see how he becomes bewildered, and then T stands for turning point. That is from verses 31 to 42. And Arjuna justifies his decision to retreat from fighting. And he gives four reasons to not fight that will be discussed in this chapter. And the fifth reason is given by him in the next chapter. So, totally, he gives five reasons. But in this chapter, we will be seeing only four reasons. And at the end of the chapter, we will see how Arjuna sets aside his weapons and resolves not to fight. So this was just an acronym to understand what is happening in the chapter, but this is a separate section-wise approach to the chapter, and we can see the whole chapter in four different sections and understand this. So we will one by one see each section and we'll try to understand what is happening. So the first section is Duryodhana's fear and diplomacy in describing the armies. Second section is signs of victory of the Pandavas. The third section is Arjuna observes the armies. And the fourth one is Arjuna's reasons not to fight. So now we will move on to the first section. And the first shloka of Bhagavad Gita is this, where Dhritarashtra inquires to Sanjaya. So, someone wants to recite the shloka, please raise your hand. Can, since most of us already know the shloka, please.
I believe Nagesh Prabhu raised his hand, so he wanted to probably recite, I think.
Yes. Oh, I think Anishka has raised her hand. Yes, Anishka.
Hare Krishna. धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव किम् अकुर्वत सञ्जय.
You can read the translation also.
Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here we see that after the Kauravas and Pandavas assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra asked, what did they do? So it seems like a very funny question that it's an obvious thing that they will fight. It's like asking someone who went to write an exam. So it's like asking someone who went to write an exam after coming home, asking them, did you write the exam? So it's obvious that they have written the exam. So here also it's obvious that they will fight. Then why is Dhritarashtra posing such a peculiar question? So I'll just give a short summary, short history of how this happened. So first, we all know that Dhritarashtra and Pandu were brothers, and from the childhood, Duryodhan tried to harm the Pandavas because when Pandu Maharaj died, the Pandavas were supposed to be the rightful heir to the throne. But Duryodhan and his 99 brothers, they did not want that to happen, and they were always troubling the Pandavas since childhood. And when they grew up, also they continued troubling them. Then there was a gambling match, and the Pandavas were banished for 13 years. And then Krishna insisted, he went as a Shantidut and he insisted that they give at least 5 villages to Pandavas to rule. But Duryodhan and party they refused that also. So there was no other option than to fight. So when they all assembled to fight, Arjun saw everyone and then okay, we'll see that later. So we need to understand that this is not that they were fighting, because people say that Krishna is trying to instigate fighting between them, but that was the last option that was there. Krishna had already tried going as a Shantidut and as a peace messenger, and it had not worked out. So it, as a Kshatriya, as Arjuna and the Pandavas, and they were Kshatriya, so it was their duty to rule the kingdom, and that is why they decided to have fight, and they all were present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Kurukshetra is also known as Dharmakshetra, or a place where religious rituals are performed. That is why Dhritarashtra was doubtful, fearful, and he had a partial mentality also. So let us try to understand each of this. So why was Dhritarashtra doubtful? Dhritarashtra was doubtful because they assembled in Dharmakshetra. So Dharmakshetra is supposed to protect Dharma and the people who follow Dharma. So deep down, he knew that his sons are not following Dharma. And also because Krishna was on the side of Pandavas, he thought that what if uh, his sons make a compromise by getting influenced by Dharmakshetra? What if they decide they don't want to fight, and what if they surrender the kingdom? Or what if Pandavas renounce everything to avoid bloodshed? So either the Kauravas will surrender or the Pandavas don't want to fight, that is why they will renounce everything and avoid the battle. So this is how he was confused, and he was doubtful if they fought or not. So the second emotion that we can see that he displayed here is fear. So he knew that due to his affection and attachment, he was doing something wrong. He was excessively attached and affectionate to his son, and he was blinded by that affection. And he knew that he was doing something wrong, and still he was not able to correct his son. So he was fearful of the outcome, since it was a Dharmakshetra. And the third point is he was partial. So if we see the shloka, it is said, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva. So he is showing partiality there. Mamaka refers to the sons of uh, Mamaka Pandavasya. Mamaka refers to his sons, and Pandavaschaiva refers to the sons of Pandu. So in this way, he's making a separation. He is not treating them equally. He's being partial to them. So this is his me and mine mentality. That Mamaka Pandavaschaiva. And as a king, he should be treating all his citizens equally. But here we can see that he was not doing so. And so we need to learn from here, we can learn two lessons. That is, first lesson that we can learn is that if you follow the right path, then Dharma will protect you. The Lord will be on your side. We can learn this from the first point. Dhritarashtra is saying that it's Dharma Kshetra, and he's feeling that it will favor the Pandavas. So from here we need to understand that if we follow the right path, then Dharma will protect us, because the Lord will be on our side. And the second thing that we can learn is that we should give up material attachment and relations and maintain spiritual ones. Because here Dhritarashtra is being excessively affectionate and blinded by his bodily relation to his sons, that he is not able to see what is right, and he is uh, getting deviated from what he's supposed to do. So we should understand that everything in the material world is temporary, and only if we have relations which is centered, which has Krishna in the center, then it will last long. So now moving on to an analogy which is there in the purport of the first shloka. Can someone please read this?
As is the paddy field, if the unnecessary plants are taken out, so it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion, Sri Krishna, was present, the unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana, and other would be wiped out, and the thoroughly religious persons religious persons, headed by Yudhishthira, would be established by the Lord. This is the significant. This is the significance of the words dharmashetra, kurukshetra, apart from their historical and Vedic importance.
Yes, thank you, Kripasindhu. So this analogy is comparing uh, Duryodhan and the Kauravas to the weeds that need to be removed from the Dharmakshetra. So now we'll continuing in the same section. This describes Duryodhana's fear and diplomacy in describing the armies. So first we see that Duryodhan points out to Dronacharya, and he goes to Dronacharya and he tells him that he has imparted knowledge to Drishtadyumna. So he points out to Dronacharya that you had imparted military secrets to Drishtadyumna, despite knowing that he was born to kill you. So in this way, Duryodhana wanted to indicate to Dronacharya that don't be lenient in the same way with the Pandavas just because they are his affectionate students. So he is being very political here and very diplomatic here. So he's trying to find ways to instigate them to fight for him. The second uh, reason he went and he spoke to Dronacharya is that he wanted to anger him. So he wanted to make him remember of his past with Drupada, who is the father of Drishtadyumna, and he wanted to, in this way, instigate him to fight. But actually, if we see that he started going and talking to all the people in his army in this way because he was too afraid and he wanted to cover up his fear. So to because if he shows that he's afraid, then all his army members also will start losing their courage. So to cover it up, he bragged about his own army and he started glorifying his own army. So he said he started glorifying Bhishma Devi and Dronacharya, and he said that he was confident of their support, and he was sure of their support. He did not have any doubts about it because previously also when in the Sabha, when Draupadi was being disrobed, Bhishma and Drona did not try to stop him. So he was sure that they will help him to fight, and he had no doubts about it. So he wanted to cover up his fear, and he started uh, boasting about his own army, saying that, "Oh, I have great warriors like Bhishma, Drona," and he mentioned other members in his army, other soldiers, because he wanted to make everyone feel important. So this is a very tactical and diplomatic move that he has done. That he wanted to make everyone feel important, and he said that Bhishma is old, so you all can also help him. You're also not less important. In that way, he was trying to make them feel important. So, with that, the first section of the chapter gets over, and now we will move on to the second section, that is from verse 12 to 19, which gives us the signs of victory of the Pandavas. So, someone can recite this also. maybe I can recite and then they can repeat. Sri Lakshmi,
Yeah.
do you want to recite?
Yeah, sure. Hare Krishna. Panchajanyam Hrishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Paundram Datma Mahashankam Bhima Vrikodaraha. Should I read the translation as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, translation. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell, called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his, the Devadatta, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell, called Poundra.
Now let's recite the 16th verse also. Radhika?
अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलः सह देवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ. Translation. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadeva blew the Sughosha and Manipushpaka. Right.
Thank you. So in the 15th and 16th verse, we see how different people and their conch shell is mentioned, and they blew the conch shell. And there are many more names of other people in the army of Arjuna. But let us focus on the signs of victory for the Pandavas, since this is a section. So there are 9 signs that we can see by which it is assured that the Pandavas are going to win the battle even before the battle has started. So the first sign is the blowing of the conch shells. So after blowing the conch shells, the Kauravas' hearts were shattered. So just by hearing the voice of the conch shell of Krishna, Arjuna, and all the Pandavas, the opposite army of the Kauravas became scared. The second sign is that the presence of the Lord on the side of the Pandavas. We also see in the Bhagavad Gita, the last shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. That wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is Arjuna, the victory is guaranteed. So wherever the Lord is present, obviously, the that side, obviously the victory is guaranteed. So the third sign that we can see is Hanuman on Arjuna's flag, because Hanuman also knew that the Lord will be with them. And there is a story of how during when they were exiled to the forest, Bhima had met Hanuman, and Hanuman was lying on the uh, road where Bhima was walking. So they Bhima tried to move Hanuman's tail, which was blocking his path, so that he could go ahead. And he was not able to do so. Then finally, Hanuman revealed him that I am Hanuman, and he promised him that during the fight, during the battle, I will be on your side, I will be present on the flag, and I will help you. So it is described that uh, during the fight, when many people surrounded Arjuna, Hanumanji used to roar, and just by roaring, that opposite soldiers would get scared and they used to fall down. So this is another sign of victory. The fourth sign is that the goddess of fortune is always present with her husband. So if Krishna is there on the side of Pandavas, obviously the goddess of fortune will also be present on their side. And wherever goddess of fortune is there, there will always be victory, there will always be fortune. So that is also one sign. Next is chariot gifted by Agni Dev. So the chariot of Arjuna was gifted by Agni Dev. And they were in Dharmakshetra, as indicated in the first sloka. And seventh sign is the symbol of Vishnu, conch. So the conch shell is symbol of Vishnu, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. So the Shankha is a symbol of Vishnu. And the eighth sign is the transcendental consciousness of Krishna and Arjuna. So it is described in the 14th verse as Divya Shankho. And the ninth sign is Bhishma's conch shell to pacify Duryodhan. Actually, Bhishma Dev tried to indicate to Duryodhan when he blew his conch shell. Bhishma Dev also blew his conch shell, and Bhishma Dev tried to indicate to Duryodhan that he had no chance of victory because Krishna was on Pandava's side. But still, he assured him that he would fight because it was his duty. So, in this way, even Bhishma Dev gave an indication that the Pandavas are going to win. So, one lesson that we can learn from here is taking shelter of Krishna makes us fearless. So, we have seen here in this section that how when the Kauravas heard the conch blowing, their hearts were shattered. But since the Pandavas were on the side of the Lord, they were completely fearless. They had no sort of fear because they knew that the Lord is with them and they are on the side of Dharma. So when Duryodhana and Pati heard the sound, they became scared. But the Pandavas had full confidence in Krishna. So we need to understand that one who has taken shelter of Krishna has nothing to fear, even in greatest calamities. For example, Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 69, he traveled to the West alone to spread the message of Krishna consciousness. But he was completely fearless because he had taken shelter of the Lord and he had complete faith on the Lord. Another example we can see is of Prahlad Maharaj, that throughout we see his father was torturing him and trying different ways to kill him. He tried to poison him, he tried to burn him, he tried throwing him from the mountain, putting him in hot oil, throwing him in the sea. So many things Hiranyakashipu tried to do, but Prahlad Maharaj was completely fearless and he never gave up taking shelter of the Lord. And even Kunti Maharani, she prays that Vipada Santita Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavato Darshanam Yachal Apunar Bhava Darshanam, that she asks in fact for more miseries and more troubles because that helps us remember the Lord. So when she remembers the Lord, she doesn't have any fear. So fear arises when we identify ourselves with the material body and we are influenced by Maya. And when we forget our true identity as the Lord's servant, then we are illusioned and we are fearful also. So, to overcome this, we should faithfully engage in the pure devotional service under the guidance of a genuine spiritual master. So, even in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Yasyam Vaishnayamanayam Krishne Param Purushe Bhaktir Utpadyate Pumsa Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. That by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and hearing about the Lord, all Shoka, Moha, and Bhaya, illusion, fear, and lamentation are completely dispelled. So, we must take shelter of the Lord in this way. And we must also remember that Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe Ke. That whoever the Lord wants to protect, no one can do anything to him. And if the Lord wants to kill someone, then no one can save him. So now we will move on to the third section, that is from verse 20 to 27. Arjuna observes the armies on the battlefield. So Arjuna wanted an estimation of the strength he had to face. So he asked Krishna to take the chariot in between the two armies. So here, one lesson that we can learn, practical application for us, is that the Lord is Bhakta Vatsal, that he became a charioteer for his devotee. And that time while fighting, they are engrossed in fighting, so they couldn't tell the driver, go right, go left, go straight. So they had to hit the driver. If they hit in the right, it means right. And if they hit in the left, they used to go left. So that position Krishna had taken. He had become the driver for his devotee, he had become the charioteer for his devotee. So, from this, we can understand the Bhakta Vatsal nature of the Lord, how he is compassionate for his devotees. And even we see an example that in the Rajasuya sacrifice, Krishna took up the service of washing the feet of each and every guest. So, he had taken that position because that is his. mercy towards that is how he's compassionate for his devotees, towards his devotees. And we can understand this by one story of a British Prime Minister called Gladstone. So once one person had gone to visit Gladstone, and the secretary of Gladstone told him that you must wait for some time. The Prime Minister is busy. So the person who came to meet the Prime Minister, he was waiting. And after some time, when he went inside and he saw the Prime Minister, he was actually playing with his son, and he was acting like a horse, and he was playing with his son. So he was very surprised that being the Prime Minister for his son, he is acting like a horse and playing with him. So what we can learn from this is that although Krishna is God, he can take any role for his devotees. So now coming back to the section of Bhagavad Gita, uh, after Arjuna requested Krishna to take him between the two armies, Krishna took him between the two armies. And Arjuna addressed Krishna as Achyuta because he never fails in affection for his devotees and takes pleasure in serving them even though he is supreme. So while calling out names also to Krishna, there is different meanings to Krishna's name. So here he calls him specifically Achyuta because he never fails in affection for his devotees and takes pleasure in serving them, even though he is supreme. So from here also we can learn that Krishna will never fail in reciprocation with his devotees. And we need to understand that all the relations in the material world are temporary. Even though we want to keep the other person happy, we cannot. Only Krishna is someone who will never fail in his affection and reciprocation with the devotee. In the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Whatever you offer, water, leaf, fruit, if you offer with love and devotion, I will accept it. And he becomes indebted to us. It is said that Tulasi Dala Matrena Jalasya Chulukenava. That he gets indebted if someone offers Ganga water and Tulsi leaf, he feels like his life is sold to that person. So in this way, he will never fail in reciprocation. So we need to understand that material relations are temporary. Now, if I ask one of you, if you might have had many friends in your childhood, it's maybe uh, so many friends, right, in kindergarten and nursery, but are you all in touch with them still? At least like who are small, like who are in fifth grade, third grade, they might be in touch. But when we grow up, when we become like 30, 40, then we might not have we might not be in touch with them unless there are some rare ones and who are actually our friends. We lose touch with them. So these material relations are temporary. It's like two logs floating in the river. They will meet sometime and then they will get separated by their own way. They'll go in their own way. So the material relations are like that. But we need to understand that our relation, our connection with the Supreme Lord is eternal. It is not temporary. So we need to get attached to spiritual relations, which has Krishna in the center. So even spiritual relations means even if we have devotees association, that is also spiritual relation because we are not attached to the devotee because of who they are related to us, but because we know that they are the spirit soul, they are also amshas of Krishna, and we respect them in that way. And we start seeing such the soul within everyone who is in the material world. Everyone, animals, insects, trees, everyone is the spirit soul and is part and parcel of Krishna. So if we look at them in that way, then there is no bondage. But if we look at them as my brother, my mother, my sister, my friend, then that is based on temporary. That is all temporary and it will not last long. So coming back to the section, here also two more important names have been mentioned, that Krishna is called Rishikesh here and Arjuna is called Gudakesh. So Arjuna is called Gudakesh because he conquered sleep. Gudaka means sleep and it also means ignorance. So Arjuna conquered both sleep and ignorance because of his absorption in the remembrance of the beauty and qualities of Krishna. And another name for Krishna here is mentioned as Rishikesh. In verse number 24 to 25, it is mentioned. So Krishna is called Rishikesh because he could understand the mind of Arjuna. Although he is the controller of everyone's senses, he is now controlled by Arjuna's words. So since Arjuna told him to take him in between the two armies, he listened to Arjuna. So now we will have a short discussion before we proceed to the next section. Why did Krishna engage Arjuna in fighting? Because we all know that fighting is a bad thing. From our childhood, we have been taught that don't fight with others. Why did Krishna engage Arjuna in fighting? Please raise your hands and you can answer the question. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Kanchana
Because
Mataji.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Mataji. Because it is a duty of Arjuna is belongs to the Kshatriyas, so it is a duty of them.
Yes, thank you, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else has anything else to add apart from what Mataji said? Please participate. Otherwise, it feels like I am not saying something right. Anyone has anything to add? Yes, Jia.
Um, it's because like it was his dharma as Arjuna was a Kshatriya. It was his duty to fight and protect the righteousness. That's why Krishna encouraged Arjuna to fight.
Yes, thank you. Anyone else wants to add on?
I guess tolerating the injustice done to you is like you are also being a part of that adharma.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
That's why Shri Krishna encouraged him to fight.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else has anything to add? Otherwise, we will proceed. Yes, Niranjan.
Krishna wanted to show that even though opposite of Arjuna, it was his relatives, he wanted to show that for dharma you need to means participate on it without hiding away.
Yes. Thank you. Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Can I also add something there?
1 minute. Keshri Mataji is added. 1 minute. Let us finish with Keshri Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Krishna wanted to establish dharma and he made his devotee as an instrument to establish dharma. So he wanted Arjuna to fight for him so that he gives the credit to him, and in that way Krishna wanted to establish dharma.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, I think most of the guests over here today, they said about the reason connected one way or the other. But I probably really think that it was the desire of Krishna that there should be a fight. And that's the reason, which is his divine will. Actually, this also proves to the point that even though in this modern world today, there are so many people who are fighting, and they also may give a just reason saying that this is for the sake of protecting the land or any such thing. But none of these fights are actually sanctioned by the Lord. Whereas the Kurukshetra war was sanctioned by the Lord, by his will, it took place. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya. And so we would see rest of it, how Krishna manages with all the others, or making them the instrument, like Arjuna is used as an instrument. But what is prevailing on the background is Krishna's will. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for highlighting that point. Bharat,
um, to set an example for the mankind.
Not
By
able to hear. Can you increase
to
your volume?
uh, to set an example for the mankind.
Yes, thank you. So all of you have given correct answers, and uh, they are all very relevant. So one more aspect for this is that Krishna wanted Arjuna to fight because uh, it is the right cause, as some of you already have pointed out. And fighting for the right cause is not bad. So even we see that in our country, there are soldiers who are fighting to protect the border, and while we are sleeping peacefully. So someone may question that that is also not right, but they are doing it legally and they are fighting to protect the country. So we should understand that whatever Krishna does is for the best and it is always righteous. It is said that dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranitam, that whatever Krishna says is dharma. So we should understand whatever Krishna does is for the best. And his plan is always perfect. Even if he arranges a battle, it is for the ultimate good. So for this, to understand this, uh, we can reconcile a story of Gopal Ban and Krishnadev Chandra, who was a king. So Krishnadev Chandra was a king and Gopal Ban was his minister. So one day both of them went for hunting to the forest, and somehow Krishnadev's finger got cut and it started bleeding. So his minister Gopal Ban approached him and he explained that don't worry, king, whatever happens, happens by the will of Lord and happens for the good. So the king got very angry. He said, "My hand is bleeding. I'm hurt. I'm in great pain, and you're saying that whatever happens due to the will of the Lord. What is this you're saying? It doesn't make sense." And he was very angry, furious, and he imprisoned his minister. So Gopal Bhatt went to the jail. And next day, as usual, again Krishnadev Chandra went for hunting. So he went for hunting, and unfortunately, that day he was caught by a group of Kali worshippers. So they caught him and they wanted to offer him as a sacrifice to Kali Mata. And they were making preparations for the sacrifice, they were getting ready for it, and finally one person saw that his hand is cut, and according to their rules, their rule book for performing the sacrifice, you're not allowed to take someone who doesn't have complete features. So because of his hand being cut, they finger being cut, they sent him away, they left him and they did not sacrifice him. So he came back to his palace and he immediately went to his minister Gopal Bhan, and he said that I was thinking maybe what you said is true, that whatever happens happens due to the will of Lord and happens for the good. So he told Gopal Bhan this, and he asked him, "From I understand my situation, but then what about you? Why did you become imprisoned?" So Gopal Bhan said that if I was not imprisoned, then I would also come for hunting with you, and they would capture both of us. And if they left you, they would sacrifice me. So in this way, he explained that whatever happens, happens for the good. So we need to understand that fighting for the right cause is not bad, and it is the plan of the Lord, and whatever the Lord plans is for the ultimate good of everyone. So now we will move on to the next section, the last section of this chapter, which is reasons not to fight. From 28th verse to the 46th verse, Arjuna gives four reasons not to fight, and the fifth reason he will give in the second chapter. So the first reason that Arjuna gives is compassion for friends and relatives. He mentions in 1.28 to 30. And Krishna addresses it here in 2.11 to 30. But the answer given by Krishna, the way Krishna helps him, motivates him to fight, will be explained tomorrow by Sri Lakshmi. So today we'll only see the reasons that Arjuna gives that they're telling that he doesn't want to fight. So the first reason is compassion for friends and relatives. The second reason is no enjoyment even if victorious. in 1.31 to 35. The third reason is fear of sinful reactions, 1.36 to 38. And the fourth reason is destruction of family traditions, 1.39 to 43. So let us see each of these four reasons in detail and try to understand what arguments Arjuna gave. So the first reason that he gave, Arjuna gave is compassion for friends and relatives. So in verse number 28 to 30, it is described how there are visible bodily symptoms in Arjuna by which we can understand that he is fearful and he is hesitant actually. He is hesitant to fight. So there are many symptoms. I will just read them out. He says that the limbs of my body are quivering. My mouth is drying up. My whole body is trembling. My hairs are standing on end. My Gandiva bow is slipping from my hand. My skin is burning. I am unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only cause of misfortune and opposite results. O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. So, in this way, he gives different symptoms that he is facing, and he is completely bewildered and he doesn't want to fight because he develops compassion for his soldiers and the soldiers of the opposite party. He feels like why do they need to lose their lives? So he develops compassion, and it is said that he is a pure devotee, right? So due to his soft-heartedness, he developed this compassion, and it is a characteristic feature of a pure devotee that a devotee of the Lord is soft-hearted and always compassionate to other living entities. So in this way, Arjuna's first reason to not fight is compassion for the friends, relatives, and all the soldiers. The second reason that Arjuna gives is that there is no enjoyment even if victorious. So he says that if I die, then obviously there will be no happiness, and if I don't die, then my family will be dead. So in that case also, I will not be able to be happy. So there is no point of victory because they will all die. And the third reason that he gives is fear of sinful reactions. He says that if I kill all the assembled people, even there is Bhishma, Drona, they're all his elders. So he is fearful of sinful reactions, and he says that he doesn't want to fight because he will incur sin. But we need to understand that there are 6 kinds of aggressors. So the first kind is one who gives poison. The second point is one who sets fire to the house. Third is attacks with weapons. Fourth, plunders riches. Fifth, occupies land. And sixth, kidnaps the wife. So if we see, it is said that if someone, even if he performs one of this sinful activity, it is okay to punish him and you will not incur the sinful reaction. But in this case, if you see, Duryodhana had performed all these kinds of 6 sinful activities. So there is no question of occurring sin in punishing him. The fourth reason that Arjuna gives is destruction of family traditions. So now let us see this section. Here, basically, he is saying that who will teach the future generation if the previous generation is dead? What will happen to them? They will get deviated. So let us see this section, this point under this section. So let us recite the 39 shloka. Anyone wants to recite?
Krishna, कुलक्षयी प्रणश्यन्ति कुलधर्म सनातनाः धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम् अधर्मो अभिभवति युता. Translation: with the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in a religion. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So now we will also recite the 40th and 41st verse and then understand the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. अधर्मा अभिभवात् कृष्णा प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेया जायते वर्णशङ्करः. Translation. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny.
Now, शङ्करो नरक एव कुलज्ञानं कुलस्य च पठन्ति पितरो हि येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियः. Translation. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi and Radhita. So, from these three verses, we can understand how Arjuna is giving a reason that the tradition will be lost. The harmful effects of destroying the family are mentioned here. So, first he says Kulakshaya, that the destruction of the dynasty will take place if he fights and if he kills the people. So, the dynasty will be destroyed. Second, what will happen if the dynasty is destroyed? Pranashyanti Kula Dharma. Family traditions will stop. So, if the dynasty is destroyed, if there is no one in the previous generation to guide the future generation, then there will be no tradition and there will be no culture that will be getting imparted. So, if that happens, then adharmo abhibhavati, irreligion will increase. And then pradushanti kulastriyaha, women become polluted, and varna shankara, unwanted progeny by mixture of caste will uh, arise. So, just by the destruction of dynasty, the family traditions will stop, their religion will increase, and there will be unwanted progeny. And then what will happen for the person who destroyed the dynasty? He will have to have a hellish life because he destroyed the family and family traditions. And if the next generation they are not religious, then even the forefathers will fall down because they will be deprived of pinda or offerings of food and water. So patanti pitaro. So the forefathers will also fall down. And then ultimately what will happen? All the community projects and family welfare activities will be destroyed. So it is mentioned here that the elders in a family in the Varnashram system are responsible for the right conduct of younger family members. But upon their death, family traditions may stop and others develop irreligious habits and thereby lose their chance for spiritual salvation. And so, in this way, we can understand this argument that Arjuna is presenting. And also, one important thing that we need to understand here, since it is mentioned here, Patanti Pitaro, that the forefathers fall down, uh, it is also an important thing to understand as devotees that simply by performing devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, we can deliver our forefathers from all kinds of misery. So, being a devotee is also delivering for our forefathers and even the next generation. But in this case, Arjuna is talking about how if he fights and he destroys the dynasty, then the family traditions will stop and everything will end up in utter chaos. So, in this way, he finally, yes, he says this and then he cast aside his bow and arrow and he sat down on the chariot, overwhelmed with grief because he did not know what to do. He presented these four reasons to avoid fighting. And one important point mentioned here is the qualification for enlightenment. So it is mentioned that a kind, soft hearted, and non violent person like Arjuna is fit to receive self knowledge by inquiring about Atma, and not one who is cruel and violent. So, someone who is considered qualified for enlightenment. So, we need to understand that soft hearted and non violent person like Arjuna is fit to receive this knowledge, and that is why Krishna in the next chapter reveals knowledge unto Arjuna. And in this way, we have completed the first chapter, and the final application that we can understand from the whole chapter is that when we try to understand things by our own senses, we are bound to be illusioned. There are many things that we have learned that we can practically apply, but one important thing that we can learn from the whole chapter is that when you try to understand things by our own senses, we are bound to be illusioned because our senses are imperfect. That is why we must approach a spiritual master and understand in the disciplic succession. So now, tomorrow, Sri Lakshmi will be presenting the second chapter, but I will just tell the connection with this chapter and the next chapter. So, since Arjuna gave these reasons, he said that he doesn't want to fight. So Dhritarashtra gets some kind of hope that that my sons may not lose the kingdom. Arjuna will renounce everything and go away, and I will still have the kingdom for myself and my sons. But then in the second chapter, Sanjaya describes how Krishna inspires Arjuna to fight. So this is the link between the first and second chapter, and this is how it progresses. So this is what I presented. This is the gist that I presented for the first chapter, and I may have missed out many points, but this was my attempt to present the chapter. And please forgive me for any offenses if I said something wrong. I have prepared a small quiz, so maybe you all can participate and complete that quiz. It's a 25 question quiz. So you can all join. I will send the link. Just 2 minutes, Mataji.
Yeah, but before the link, Tulsi,
Yes, Mataji.
yeah, before you send the link, so first and foremost thing I would like to thank for wonderfully taking us through this chapter, giving us an overview of the entire first chapter with the main sections, divisions, the practical takeaway points from this particular chapter. That was very nice. And we can open the forum for some questions before we go for the quiz. So, any questions from anybody?
Can I ask?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Very well. Thank you for giving this opportunity. I was just wondering, when going through the Bhagavad Gita first chapter, though Arjuna is keep on speaking so much of many statements and trying to really literally cry in front of Krishna, but Krishna doesn't seem to be responding at all. I really wonder whether Krishna actually responds when someone is in real crisis. Is it really required that one should really approach Krishna? So it was only after making him really cry a lot that Krishna thought to respond. I think probably Sri Lakshmi might say when she is going to respond tomorrow. I think. So what do you think? Should someone have real faith, especially when someone is in such kind of a distraught condition and coming to Krishna, and then Krishna just doesn't respond? How does it actually feel like?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you already know the answer. You're just asking to test my knowledge. So I will try to answer how much, according to how much I know. So I'm not sure, you can please correct me. But I think that Krishna is waiting for Arjuna to completely surrender unto him and accept him as a spiritual master. Until then, Arjuna is speaking as a friend. So he's speaking as a Sakha and he's going on telling his miseries, and Krishna is listening as a friend. But in the second chapter, when Arjuna goes and surrenders completely and accepts him, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava prechami tvam dharma samudacheta, and when he says Guru Nahatva Mahanubhava, and when he completely accepts him as his spiritual master, that is when Krishna takes the role of the spiritual master and instructs Arjuna. So Arjuna had that faith, and that is why the Lord revealed. So if we also, Krishna may not reveal himself completely immediately to us. So we need to have that patience that Arjuna also showed and have that faith on him and continue on this path of devotional service. And slowly Krishna will reveal whatever we need to be knowing. Please
Well,
correct me, Prabhu. This is my
no,
understanding.
that was very nice. In fact, I was reflecting recently. One of the youth spoke to me like this and said that I really don't think Krishna could be believed because he just doesn't seem to be responding. So I was just looking from the youth point of view, how you would like to approach and how do you like to keep the faith on Krishna. And it was nice that you said until Arjuna surrendered and accepted him as a spiritual master, he did not give his consultation. Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you very much.
Anybody else for any questions? Okay, there is a question in the chat box. It says, why? Okay, the question is, let me read it for you, Tulsi. Why grief, Vishada are called as yoga? It says though, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So in what way grief, Vishada is called as yoga? That's the question.
Mataji, I am not sure of this answer. You can please enlighten all of us.
No, go ahead, don't worry.
It's called Vishad Yoga because he is expressing his lamentation and he's not able to decide what to do. And yoga means anything that connects us with Krishna. So here he is going to connect to Krishna through his lamentation. So probably that is why it is called Vishad Yoga.
Yes, that's all. Why are you worried? That's the right answer. Yes, because Krishna says, no, through his lamentation. Yes, that's how he got connected. Yeah, that lamentation made him connect to Krishna. Absolutely fine, beta. Artho, Artharthi, Jikyasa, there are different categories of people who come to Krishna, right? So he was in deep lamentation, but he did the most wisest thing, that he took to the shelter of Krishna. And that's how he got connected. Yeah, wonderful. Very nice. Wonderful. That's absolutely.
Can I add?
Yes, you can.
Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, also in the 4th chapter, saying that ye yathamam prapadyante. In whatever way anyone comes to Krishna, he accepts it. And coming to Krishna means yoga, connection. And since Arjuna took that opportunity to connect with Krishna, expressing his grief, so even grief becomes yoga. In fact, Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice point here in relationship to the 9th chapter, when this question of offering anything to Krishna comes in picture. Normally he says that you offer patram pushpam palam toyam. So one person in the West asked Prabhupada, what about wine? Can we offer it to Krishna and drink? So Prabhupada said to him, yes, of course. As long as you think the taste in wine is coming from Krishna and you're remembering Krishna, then you can drink that. Because in that thought process also, you are connecting to Krishna. So the same way, anything in relation, but it doesn't mean that we offer wine to Krishna. And he clarified, saying that we normally offer anything which the other person prefers. This is your preference that you want to give it to, so therefore that is not acceptable. So he clarified that. Very nice. Thank you, TulsiGopi. You really brought in a very nice point there.
Very nicely said. Anybody, any other question before we take on to the quiz that she has prepared? Anybody would like to, if not questions, anybody would like to say some words of encouragement? I would request some of the seniors, please come forward and speak few words of encouraging words to the children who have taken up this, wonderful udyam, I would say, of taking up the 18-day Bhagavad Gita course. Urvashi Mata, you'd like to say a few words?
हरे कृष्णा। इन बच्चों ने मुझे स्पीचलेस कर दिया है। मतलब मेरे पास उनको ग्लोरीफाई करने के लिए पर्याप्त शब्द नहीं है, परंतु फिर भी मैं करूंगी, क्योंकि ऐसे उत्तम वैष्णवों का ग्लोरिफिकेशन करना, इतने दृढ़ता से भगवत गीता को पढ़ना, पढ़ने के बाद किसी को पढ़ाना, ये किसी को पढ़ाने का जो कार्य है ना, वो पढ़ने से भी उत्तम है कि इससे हमारी समझ और भी बढ़ती है। तो मेरी भगवान से प्रार्थना है, ये बच्चे इसी तरह से निर्भयता से, जैसे आज तुलसी गोपी ने किया, तो इतना कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ जिस तरह से उन्होंने हमें भगवत गीता को समझाया, और उनका भी भगवत गीता कौन समझा रहा है ये महत्व नहीं है, हर एक व्यक्ति के मुख से जब भगवान का नाम शुद्ध हृदय के साथ निकलता है तो उसमें उसके शुद्ध भाव मिश्रित हो जाते हैं, तो जो नया अर्थ बनता है वो हम जो जानते हैं उस अर्थ से भी कुछ निराला होता है। तो प्रतिदिन अगर कोई भी व्यक्ति इस तरह से भगवत गीता का ज्ञान दूसरों को देता है तो वो बहुत ही अत्यंत ही सुखकारी होता है, मन को प्रसन्न करने वाला होता है। आप सबको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, सभी बच्चों को इसी तरह से पढ़ते रहिए और साथ में प्रचार कीजिए, पढ़ाते रहिए। थैंक यू सभी को, कोटि प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Urvashi Mata, for your encouraging words. And I really thank Tulsi Gopi. Yes, you have done a very wonderful job. Yes, Vidya Mata, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Pranam. Thank you so much, Tulsi Gopi ji, for nectarian class. Wonderful class with practical applications, analogies, and you quoted Kunti Maharani's shloka also from Bhagavatam. And each and every meaning of the Gudakesha, Rishikesha in each verse you told, that is very informative. Thank you so much. And thanks for the answer also. Wonderful answer. Thanks.
Thank you, Mataji, Sachi Mataji. Actually, Urvashi Mataji was saying, I was saying with confidence, but Mataji knows that she's the one who gave me the confidence. Until yesterday night, I was very tense, struggling. Not yesterday night, just before the class also. And only because of Mataji, I was able to present. Whatever came out is blessings and mercy of Mataji and all the devotees. Thank you. Please give some feedback also if I can improve in any way.
तुलसी गोपी, गुरु सबको एक तरह से ज्ञान देते हैं, वो सबके प्रति दया भाव रखते हैं, परंतु हम में इतनी पात्रता होनी चाहिए कि उनके आदेशों को हम ग्रहण करें। तो आपकी पात्रता बहुत उत्तम है, ऐसे ही प्रगति करें।
Hare Krishna to all of you. Yes, Keshri Mata, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'm very thankful to Tulsi Gopi. A lot to learn from you, beta. I'm very, very happy, immensely happy. And how you started with the class when I missed out, I think, the initial few minutes. It's really, what you said in the beginning, a simple, sincere hearted, where Krishna reveals. Arjuna became the instrument to reveal Bhagavad Gita. And I can see that in you. You have such a simple, pure hearted, and the mood you have imbibed is so congenial. Krishna has really revealed the knowledge. That's where Ramakrishna Prabhuji always used to tell us, right? You need to digest and assimilate the content first. The one who has assimilated, then only you can present it. That really shows a very hats off you, a thorough study what you have preached today, and wonderful, beta, and very best of luck for all the children who have taken of this. We are learning a lot from you all. I'm very, very happy about it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Keshri Mata. Thank you, Rushi Mata, Vidya Mata, for your kind and encouraging words. Yes. So yes, thanks Tulsi Gopi from my side, and our blessings to you, sincere blessings to you, and may Krishna bless you, not only you, to all the other children also, who will be hearing for the next 18 days. And today is a very, very auspicious day, being Ekavika Ekadashi, and we have embarked on a very wonderful, auspicious day. And I'm sure this is going to bring you a lot of, spiritual benefits, because today on this auspicious day we're all sitting and hearing, and in this also this being Chaturmasya, so we're going to hear the complete Bhagavad Gita, in that sense also. So all has combined, so it's very nice. May Krishna bless you all, dear. Um, yeah. So Tulsi Gopi, you can tell us what is the next agenda in your program. What you've decided? You've decided something.
Yes, Mati, there's a quiz, so they can click the link and enter the code, and you can start the quiz. It's on quizzes.
Okay, the number is 521833.
Yes, Mati.
Okay, dear. So yeah, so Tulsi Gopi has prepared a quiz, whatever we have discussed and learned from just a while ago. So I request all of you to take this quiz just as a as a refresher, so that it also help you, remember whatever you have learned as of now. Yeah, please go ahead and do it.
Mataji, out of the 36 participants, 20 have joined. So should I start or should I wait for some more time?
I think you can start, because even I'm not able to log in. I don't know. It is giving a lot of options. I'm not able to log in. And you wait for another 2 minutes. Otherwise, you can start off.
Okay, Mataji.
I don't know how to. Well, I'm finding a little difficulty in logging in. I'm just trying to. I don't know where I'm going wrong. Mm, I plan to use fake. Yeah, I could log in. No, I'm not able to log in.
I think Tulsi Gopi can guide us, because there is an enter code on the top right corner up.
Yes,
So
she has given the code 521833.
Yeah,
But
you should you should click that enter code and then enter. Then afterwards you can get in. But since she has not yet opened the quiz, so we are not able to get the page.
Okay.
So I think she can open up and then we can.
Because you're supposed to create an account first if you don't have an account. That's also there. Supposed to sign in. Like,
We have signed in.
Done.
Yeah, and it is taking me to the enter code.
Then you enter it over there, Mataji.
Correct, but when I enter and say join, I should say join, right?
Yeah.
When I say join, it's again taking me back to you need to sign up to play this quiz.
Hare Krishna,
You just
Mataji.
sign in with your Google.
Google account. Yeah, Mataji, you can sign in with your Google account.
No, there are three options. One is Google, continue with email, continue with Microsoft. I selected continue with email.
No, better do it with Google.
With Google, yeah.
Okay.
And has the questions been already displayed?
No problem. Once everyone joins, I'll start and then one question will come.
Okay. Fine. I think it's time now. We can start off if you have so many who are already done.
Okay, Prabhu.
It says continue to Vagrant formally quizzes. I went there, but
there you are getting enter account join.
It says email supported. Selecting an account will direct you to something. I don't know.
You go with Google. Join with Google.
That only I did.
Go back and join with Google.
I'm doing that only. TulsiGopi, whoever has done the quiz can leave the session.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So Anishka, she has done. Yeah, Anishka, you can leave. Yeah. Kanchana Mata says yes.
Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam.
I want all of you be there tomorrow for the next 18 days, please. Thank you. Thank you, Ramakrishna Prabhu. Thank you, Kanchana Mata. Thank you, Anishka.
Mata, tomorrow also same time?
Yes, Mata. 4 o'clock UAE time. That is 5:30 India time.
Okay. Hare
We'll
Krishna. Thank you, Mata.
Yes, Mata. Thank you, Mata. Thank you, Arjun. Thank you, Neeraj Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Beta.
Hare Krishna.
Beta.
Thank you, Sachi Mataji. Thank you, TulsiGopi.
Thank you, Rishi Mata. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Pranams to all.
Pranams.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you, Nagesh Prabhu. Devi is asking, can you show the results?
Mataji, I'll just share the screen.
Yeah.
But for that, I'll have to end the. So we have Vijeta Mataji first, Arjun second, Ramakrishna Prabhu third, and some are still continuing, so I can't end it.
Yeah. Wait, let us wait for a few more minutes. Let them finish. Let them do it.
Hare Krishna, Pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, TulsiGopi.
Mataji, I think it. Yeah, everyone has completed or it has stopped.
Okay.
Some are Should I end it?
Yes. Let us see. Has everyone done, or is anybody still doing? Is anybody still doing? Can we finish? Can we close the session? I think you do it better. No one's responding. You better do it. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam. Thank you, Tulsi. It was very nice.
Haribol. Vijeta Mata is first. Arjun is second. Ramakrishna Prabhu is third. Haribol.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for encouraging by participating, and thank you Mataji Prabhuji for always guiding and supporting and showing the right way. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you. So, Tulsi, thank you for a wonderful session today. And tomorrow we'll be hearing from Sri Lakshmi. Then we have Radhita. We have Madhavan. Then we have also Hasini, right? And Devyani. Correct? We have 6 of you. So, may Krishna bless you all, dear. Take care. Have a great day. And we'll all meet tomorrow. Same time, 4 o'clock, same link. No change. Okay? Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thanks to all of you for your participation. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. So let's do the Hare Krishna. TulsiGopi, do the Vaishnu Pranamantra beta.
Yes, Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, beta. Okay, good. So with your kind permission, I'll be ending the session here. Okay. Thank you. Thanks to all.